Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Colby Murray and my student number is 311-01161. The purpose of this assignment is to discuss with you the type of humanities and social science teacher that I want to become. Engaging in the unit EDN 441 has been instrumental in influencing and informing my pedagogical practice as an early childhood humanities and social science teacher. Throughout the unit, I have developed my knowledge of the humanities and social sciences curriculum, resources and teaching strategies, and more specifically, the values and principles of democratic social education. These pedagogical ideologies influencing my teaching philosophy and how we teach has in the early childhood classroom. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing with you the purpose and aim of the Humanities and Social Science learning area in the West Australian curriculum and the Early Learning Years framework, resources and strategies which I will use in my HAS classroom to support student learning, and our Shaw's values and principles of democratic social education, which have influenced and informed my HAS teaching philosophy. In the West Australian curriculum, the Humanities and Social Sciences learning area comprises of 4 subjects, this including civics and citizenship, economics and business, and geography and history. Engaging in these subject areas provides students with a structured platform to develop a sense of curiosity, wonder, and appreciation and respect for different places, events, people, and social, cultural, and religious diversity. Develop their knowledge and understandings of the world, past and present, from a range of perspectives. Develop a sense of belonging to their community and engagement in civic life. To become responsible and informed, active, ethical participants in the society at a local, national, and global level. Develop their ability to question, solve problems, communicate effectively, and engage in collaborative activities and deliberations with their peers, focus on real-world events and issues that concern them, and develop their knowledge of sustainability and the connections between Australia and the peoples of Asia. HAS in the Early Learning Years framework provides students with the opportunity to investigate and explore the world around them through play-based and hands-on learning experiences. It supports students to explore their own identities, heritage, and traditions, provides opportunities for them to explore the diversities of families, culture, and traditions within their community, and to become aware of the connections, similarities, and differences between their own families and the families of others. It also enables them to develop their understandings of location and that the globe is a representation of the Earth where places can be located. It provides students with opportunities to engage in stories of the past in relation to their own family context as well as other cultures, and supports students to develop a sense of belonging and connection to their local communities by investigating familiar places, why they are important, and how to care for them. So what type of HAS teacher do I want to become? My HAS teaching philosophy has been built upon the structured framework of democratic social education and a student-centred approach to teaching. Focus on bringing the democratic values of respect, trust, equality, and justice into the classroom. My HAS teaching pedagogy centres on 5 characteristics, including situated learning, active student participation, student voice and dialogue, problem-posing approaches, and inquiry-based learning, multicultural learning, and desocialisation. Embedding these approaches within my classroom will allow students to engage in the HAS curriculum in meaningful, authentic, and purposeful ways, to express their own opinions and ideas about the world around them, and to become active, involved learners within their education. A common core aspect of democratic education is situating learning within the classroom to students' interests, themes, culture, knowledge, socio-economic background, and perceptions. Having in-depth knowledge of students' interests, family, culture, backgrounds, and prior knowledge is essential for teachers to be able to program and plan lessons that are stimulating, engaging, promote active student participation and student voice, and engross the students in their learning. As highlighted by Peterson, a teacher cannot build a community of learners unless students develop an active sense of belonging to the classroom and their lives become an integral component of the curriculum. The strategies that I will use in my future early childhood classroom to get to know students' interests, cultural backgrounds, and prior knowledge, and create a classroom climate of belongingness include engaging students in All About Me activities, such as creating All About Me posters, where students take home a piece of coloured card and paste images of their families and interests on it. Once completed, they return these to school and share these with their peers. Handing out parent questionnaires, greeting students as they enter the classroom, and asking about their weekends and lives outside of school. Engaging students in morning meetings where they are provided with opportunities to share some news of interest to the class and respond to each other, KWL charts, and all-class brainstorms. The knowledge I have gained about students from using the above strategies we use as a framework for curriculum planning and to create generative themes within the classroom. This enabling students to see how the knowledge contained in the school curriculum is useful and linked with their own personal interests, needs, expectations, and abilities. Active student participation is vital to the engagement, motivation, and academic success of children within the classroom. I believe in actively involving students in all levels of their education. This allows them to take ownership of their education, to feel valued and respected, and that they are in sufficient command of the learning process and perform at their peak. Shaw describes a participatory classroom as a learning environment which promotes collaborative learning, student voice, and student-centered dialogue. To promote a culture of active student participation and student voice within my future HAS classroom, I'll provide opportunities for students to collaborate and to make decisions with the adults in the room around what and how they learn and how their learning is assessed. This gives students a voice and makes them feel important as their views and opinions are acknowledged, engages them in their learning, and gives them the power to direct and take responsibility of their own learning, creating independent and self-regulated learners. To further encourage student voice within my classroom, I'll also give students a choice of the different types of resources that they want to use in their learning, to choose the format of how they show their learning, where they sit in the classroom, and encourage them to give feedback and ideas by designating a space in the classroom for students to ask questions and state ideas, likes, and improvements. Collaborative learning environments are integral to the development of student dialogue, cognitive, social, and emotional skills. Cobb and Yackel establishing that it is through these social settings where students learn to develop positive relationships, share their ideas, develop their problem-solving and negotiation skills, scaffold and build upon their learning, enhance their cognitive understandings, and develop their communication and social skills, such as turn-taking, cooperating, negotiating, sharing, active listening, and appropriately responding to the actions, feelings, and ideas of others. Create a collaborative social learning environment within my HAS classroom. I'll provide opportunities for students to engage in small group and whole class deliberations, such as think pair shares, sharing circles, and small group work. These learning strategies are effective and promote student voice and student-centered dialogue by allowing students to mutually share their thoughts, ideas, and feelings about topics and issues which are important to them. This also promotes desocialization, where students collaboratively gain new knowledge from their peers, prompting them to think critically about their own opinions and question and challenge their worldviews. To further promote student dialogue within the classroom, I will engage students in whole class meetings to support them in solving problems and discussing issues and topics that are important to them. I will also support students to develop their active listening skills through use of reciprocal dialogue by encouraging them to respond to their peers during small group and whole class discussions and build upon their ideas. Problem posing and inquiry-based learning pedagogies emphasize the role of students as researchers in the production of their own knowledge. A student-centered approach to teaching, educators pose academic content and knowledge in the form of a problem or question for students to research, discover, and pursue, rather than filling their minds with official and unofficial knowledge. By posing knowledge as questions and problems, rather than giving answers, it enables students to participate more deeply and take ownership of their own learning. The investigation process and the skills of critical inquiry and ethical decision-making also help students to become better informed and active citizens. The strategies that we'll use in my future HAS classroom to promote problem-posing approaches and inquiry-based learning include introducing new topics to students as questions or problems needed to be solved, basing inquiry-based research projects upon generative, topical, and academic themes, giving students opportunities to collect evidence from a wide range of resources such as books, newspapers, the internet, guest speakers, interviews, and excursions, providing students with opportunities to use their creativity and present their findings across different formats such as posters, drawings, paintings, models, oral presentations, and role plays. Planning for inquiry-based learning using models such as state the problem, research and collect data, analyse the data, share our findings, reflect upon what we have learned and how we can apply it within our society, and ensuring that students engage in different types of inquiry-based learning, such as structured inquiry, which is led by the teacher and where the whole class engages in the inquiry steps together, controlled inquiry, where the teacher chooses the topic and the resources the students use to answer the inquiry question, guided inquiry, where the teacher chooses the topic and students choose the resources to answer the question, and free inquiry, where students choose the topic and resources to investigate, including how to present their findings and evidence. Multicultural learning focuses on incorporating students' diverse cultures into the curriculum and develops their awareness of the cultural diversity of their peers within the classroom and their wider community. In order to participate and contribute to a positive and cohesive society, children need to be taught to respect, appreciate, and positively interact with people who are different from themselves. This includes learning and understanding others' perspectives, developing positive attitudes towards cultural differences, and gaining knowledge of different cultural practices and worldviews. In teaching children to respect and celebrate diversity in their community and developing their understanding of their own culture, we are contributing to the creation of a positive and accepting society which supports children to have a strong sense of identity, allow children to connect and contribute to their world, and develop skills and attitudes that will assist them to form lasting and positive relationships, contributing to their social and emotional well-being. To create a classroom culture of belongingness and develop students' knowledge of other cultures, I include resources and experiences in the classroom that reflect the diversity of students, their families, and the broader community, such as books, artifacts, images, and dramatic play areas with traditional dress-ups, dolls, and puppets from diverse countries. I embrace cultural differences and celebrate traditions across the curriculum, such as embedding multicultural learning in art, including making Chinese lanterns, Japanese fans, and African necklaces, listening to and viewing traditional songs and dances, and the inclusion of cultural celebrations within the classroom, such as NAIDOC Day, Harmony Day, and Multicultural Week. This will support students to develop a critical awareness of the cultures and traditions of the people in the world around them, and challenge them to question and think critically about their often stereotyped and biased viewpoints that they have about different cultures, religions, and traditions. A desocializing classroom focuses on teachers and students working together to gain new knowledge and understandings, which challenges their worldviews and encourages them to think critically about their opinions. Students come to school with their own stereotyped viewpoints of the world around them. This is often influenced by their parents, carers, and the media. As teachers, it is important for us to teach children that their ways of thinking are not predetermined, but culturally and historically constituted, and to be aware that the first thing they see on the news and what they read may not be correct and follow a certain point of view. To create a classroom culture focused on critical thinking and desocialization, I'll provide students with opportunities to analyze and examine pictures, films, and news articles focused on historical and current world events. I'll expose children to different cultures and traditions through the use of play-based and hands-on learning, including books, puzzles, artifacts, images, and dramatic play areas, with traditional dress-ups, dolls, and puppets from diverse countries. I'll provide opportunities for students to engage in cooperative learning, group work, peer discussions, and ongoing active research, and also self-reflective journaling, and for students to examine and reflect upon their new knowledge and understandings through whole class discussions and brainstorms, and to consider how they can act upon this within their wider community. By doing this, they will see themselves as actors in the world and not just things to be acted upon. Influenced by the principles and values of democratic social education, my HAS teaching philosophy creates a classroom culture focused on student voice and a student-centered approach to teaching. This is accomplished through the orientation of subject matter to students' interests, knowledge, cultures, and idioms, creating a participatory social environment which promotes student voice and dialogue, collaborative deliberations, and the sharing of ideas and opinions, problem posing, inquiry-based, and multicultural learning through the use of hands-on and play-based resources, and the development of critical thinking skills and the examination of biased stereotypes. The complexity of my HAS teaching philosophy reflects the realities of educating students from diverse socio-economic backgrounds, culture, values, learning styles, and aptitudes for learning in an environment that only caters for individuals but create teams of learners who support each other. These are the references that I have used to complete my assignment. Thank you for listening to my presentation.